Hi Poke fans, I'm starting a new adventure today in Animal Crossing New Horizon. This game has been released for 3 years now and definitely has been pretty cool. It's a game where you go ahead and start in a new island and build and design it the way you like. I definitely enjoy playing this game and I do have to say I am a big fan of this series as well. I think as much as I am a fan of Pokemon games. And that's the reason why I wanted to reset my island and have this journey with you guys as well. I'm pretty sure that you guys probably have played this game before as well. If you have played this game, if you have your own island, please share the details with me. I would definitely love to go ahead and check it out. I always appreciate a good island design and I usually get inspired by others' designs as well. So definitely I'm looking forward to this. Now this current island which I am showing is the one that I will be resetting pretty soon. So probably this will be the last memory I'll have of this island. In this design I did go with a kind of forest core theme. It wasn't complete but I did have a part forest core and part village kind of theme. I actually named this island Star Haven because initially when I got this island design, it actually had a star-shaped pond and I was going to actually use it. The pond was right next to the resident services and it actually looked pretty cute, but since I did decide for a forest core theme, I had to close it out. I usually love a really good island design and whenever it comes to my island, I really like to kind of plan it out and then go ahead with it. In this case, that is what I did. Now the date in this game is a bit different because I did record this a long time ago. But then I did actually go for the Violet Nuzlocke challenge and that's the reason why I kind of delayed uploading this one. So it's actually January 8th right here. And by this time I had already a 5-star island. So I didn't really have too much things to do on a daily basis, which was the main reason why I actually decided to reset it. True to the forest village core, this is my main house and as you can see I have a small garden slash farm kind of thing right here at the entrance. But the most surprising thing is I'm actually seeing Celeste right here. She is a owl that I really like because she does give one of my favorite items in the game. Unfortunately for me, even though I had this game for a year now, this is the first time I'm actually meeting her. As you can see, she just gave me an ornament. I did meet her once before this and that was in one of my friend's island and not even in mine. And I do have kind of the bond that she gave me in that. But of course, this is the first time I'm actually meeting her in this island. It's kind of sad that I'll be actually resetting this one pretty soon. And probably the next time I'll see her is gonna be in my new island. Now I did kind of construct my main house in the second platform. So let me quickly make my way to the airport from where we can actually start this tour of my island. Alright, here we are. And as you can see, my airport is actually green in color, which is obviously the one I actually tried to get. I think I resetted my original island like multiple times until I got it color green. But of course, here is my entrance. As soon as you come into the island, you have a waterfalls. But if you make your way to the right, there is the Nook's Granny. I think when I started this island, the main theme for me was to keep the residence service as far as possible from the airport itself. And one of the main reasons I wanted that is because of the location of my Nook's Granny. I always wanted to have the shop as close as to the airport, so it is much easier for someone who comes to my island to have an access to the shop. In this case, it seems like we have a couple new items right here. And this one I think I actually don't have. It's a bathroom stall, so I'll just go ahead and buy it. Oops, never mind, I don't really have the bells. I guess you could say I'm one of those players who never have enough bells to kind of buy an item. And I do have to run around just catch a few fishes just to sell them and buy the item. Anyway, let me know in the comment section if you guys do that as well. But going forward with the tour, I actually have a small ladder right here which goes down to the other side of the beach. But I really like the small design which has 2 speakers and a couch where you can just sit and watch the ocean. Going back up, there is a path right next to the Nook's Cranny shop, and this one goes back a bit. It's also a small area where you can just sit down, watch the nature. I have a waterfalls in the background which kind of makes it a really cool background. Going back, let's make our way through the small maze right here to the residence service. The one thing I would recommend if you are starting a new island is to check out the location of where your airport is, where the hidden cove is, as well as where the residence service is gonna be. These 3 things are gonna be permanent. There are a couple other things that will be permanent, but these 3 are the main ones that actually decides how good your island is gonna be with the design that you really want to have. In my case, I think that is what actually drove me for this design. I do have a couple of different places, but these are all of my villages right here of my island. All of them kind of have the, I guess, forest themed houses. This is mainly because I was going for that design, but here is my resident service. Initially, I wanted resident services to be the kind of main hub, but I actually didn't go for that. Right next to it is the path that leads up to my main house. But of course, before we go there, let's go behind the services. And this is the main path that I usually take because it actually goes to Able Sisters as well as my campsite. For the Able Sisters, I actually wanted it to be kind of surrounded by a pond, and that's the design I actually went over here. And I was just here inside to just check out the clothes since I am already visiting it. I think the clothes on these mannequins are looking pretty cool. But I already have them, so I'm not gonna buy any of those clothes. Going back outside, let's make our way to the campsite, which is one of my favorite designs on this island. It's one of my designs that I literally took around an hour or two just designing it, and more than that to just kind of implement it right here. But here is my campsite, and if you go down, I have another small place where you can sit around and camp and talk and stuff. I thought this was pretty cool. You also have this small river or kind of a pond to kind of fish. Now right here, for some reason, I think I missed a spot. This is probably has happened when I was picking up the carrots that were right next to it. Probably I misclicked on Y and erased this tile right here. But of course, I do have to thank and give a shout out to all of these content creators who have actually designed these tiles in the game. None of these paths are mine, and I actually downloaded from the online path tiles that you kind of get in the game. It's the custom tiles that someone has made, and I really have to thank them for these. Definitely they were super pretty, and I was so excited to kind of see them. Right here is the other part of the, I guess, beach. As this side of the beach is pretty small, I didn't have a major design for this beach itself. I do have a lighthouse though. That was one of the main things for this area, but I just randomly get some items around, and that is all for this beach. I just have a couple of skeletons, or I guess only one, and just a lighthouse to kind of show that it's an island. And of course, going back up, let's go ahead and see all the villager houses and how the paths actually lead to each of them. To be honest, the original design I had for the villager houses was a bit different than what I actually ended up creating here. But of course, right next to the campsite is Bill's house. This is the first house I usually visit when I'm going around. But of course, if you come north from there, you come right beside my house. That is the main house, and just coming up, you have 2 more houses for the villagers. The main thing I wanted to do for each of these houses is to make sure that there is either a waterfalls right next to their house or a small garden of veggies or flowers. In this case, it is both in some of the houses as well. But this is the first 3 houses of my villages. If you go more north, it will actually go back to the resident services building. So I'm gonna go ahead and go south here to the edge of the island. At the edge, I have a very long walkway. This one is gonna go ahead and go to the back. Now it's not going to my hidden cove, but I do have a stone structure right here which I can actually walk up to and jump to the ocean. Now you might be wondering where my museum is. Before we visit that, let me quickly go ahead and show the rest of the island houses. Right here on this level, I have 3 more houses, one being right here. This is Canberra's, and another one on top right here, which I thought was gonna look pretty cool because at some angle you can actually see all the 3 houses kind of lined up. Whoops, did not mean to go into the house itself. By the way, while I was recording this video, this is the first time I have actually visited the island for a couple of days now. So I haven't really talked to my villagers and I really don't want to talk to them right away. That's the reason why I didn't talk to my villagers right there. But of course, once you come outside, if you go down, instead of using ladders everywhere, I went up with vines, which I think kind of suits this design and it looks amazing for all the weather. And coming down, we have the 4th villager's house right here. This one, here the path, if you go back side, it will go back to Bill's house. And if you make your way to the north, that is towards the island airport, there is another path that will kind of branch back to my house. So there are a lot of paths that you can take around each of these houses. And of course, here is another villager's house, but this goes back to the entrance. At the entrance, I also have a second main house and it belongs to my other character, but here we are at the entrance. Now if you do decide to cross that bridge, it will actually go back to resident service building, so it's kind of like looping around. But here is the second main house. As you can see, I did actually add a friend pool for it and 2 waterfalls as well. Now, if you do go down the beach right here, I have a very cool design. I have a pathway that kind of leads to a festival items. The main inspiration for keeping all of these items here is the fact that I had a really long front beach. For most of the islands, usually if you have a river running from the front of the island, you usually don't get such a huge beach. But of course, since my airport was at the side of the island, that is in the right side, I got a long beach at the left one. Now I won't be crossing that bridge, so going back to where we were, I actually forgot another area. If you climb up this ledge right here to the next level, you have all the stone architectures around here. Now you might think there are way too many trees up in the front, and the main reason I planted that many trees is to kind of cover up the stone structures from the beach where I had the festival items. But this is kind of a ruins structure that you might probably imagine that is in our current world. Getting down from there, we have another intersection where we have another platform with 2 more of the villager houses. Now these 2 houses are the last one, they make up to 10. Behind the first house over there, I have a secret garden with a lot of fruits. But of course, if you make your way up to the second level, you have another villager's house. This time with a windmill, which I think looked pretty cool next to the house. When I initially designed this island, I was a bit worried about the positions of my villager house. Just cause it was all around the same area and there was a huge part of the island that was still kind of fully empty. But in the end, it kind of worked out for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and show the rest of the island, which is kind of filled with parks, filled with random fountains and a museum. If you go ahead and go to the complete left side and climb up the first platform, here is where I have all of my rocks. This is where I come on a daily basis to go ahead and get my items. And of course, it's a small area where you can just enjoy the nature itself. I really like this fountain here, by the way. It looks super amazing. And of course, as usual, if you come during it actually hits an hour, you'll be able to see a bit of change in its design. But moving forward to the south side of the island, there's another platform with another fountain. But this one actually has a cave. This is also one of my favorite items in the game. I think the cave looks super amazing, and if you have some minecarts like I do, it does look like a real mining cave. Going behind the cave, we have a small path that will actually lead back to the front of the island. But by going over the bridge, we are finally coming to my museum. I always wanted my museum to be kind of out of the way, and this was the right design for it. This museum is also right next to where my secret cove is, which is quite helpful if I do get the artifacts, that is the art items. I also like the design of my secret cove. Now I do have to admit, this is one of those ideas that I actually saw in the internet and kind of tried replicating it. I was just trying to search for secret island designs, and I actually found this one, and I really thought it was pretty cool. If someone who originally made that design actually is seeing this video, thank you so much for giving me that idea. I think it was really amazing and I really loved it. Before we go on, it seems like we have another gift that is floating around. Let me quickly go ahead and get this one. One of the main reasons why I really love this game is because of the amount of designs that you can have for an island. I mean, if you go on the internet, you'll probably find thousands and thousands of different islands, different ideas to kind of go ahead and, I guess, do for each of the portion of this island itself, which I think is pretty cool. Now, right here at the end of the island, and right next to where we have Kappa's boat, is my third house. This was one of those last minute designs I made, the house as well as these items on the beach in the side of the island. I kind of made it at a hurry at the end since I never had any plans for any of the items on the beach, and I actually was surprised to actually fit a house right here as well. And the path right next to the house kind of leads back to where we were. But basically, this is my island. And to be honest, I am definitely going to miss this one because I think I took around 2 to 3 months just trying to find a design for this island. I do have to thank the people who made the Island Planner app. That was one of the best things that is available for this game and definitely helped me a lot to kind of create this island design. I have done 2 more islands before this. This was my officially 3rd reset of the island. But based on the game, I think this is one of my favorite island designs I ever had. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about my island and if it helped you guys get some designs for your own island as well. But for me, I'll be resetting this island pretty soon. After all, we have a new journey in a new island that will be starting from tomorrow. I'm very excited to go ahead and start this journey. I hope you guys are excited as well, and I thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing a lot of these Animal Crossing videos as well. I have done Pokemon Nuzlocke challenges, mystery gifts and Pokemon information videos. If you're interested in any one of those, check out my channel. If you'd like to support me more in a personal way, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.